Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. This Saturday is UFC Vegas 50, and in the co-main event, we have an amazing bantamweight fight between Marlon Moraes and Song Yadong, and this video is going to be my full breakdown and prediction. I absolutely love this fight. This is one of those fights where the UFC is kind of feeding the old to the young. This is Song Yadong's biggest test in his UFC career, and Marlon Moraes is not in a good spot right now, so he has to win this fight. This is a must-win for Marlon Moraes. So if you look at the tail of the tape, Marlon Moraes is currently ranked number 10 in the UFC official rankings. Song Yadong number 14. Moraes is 33. Yadong is 24. Moraes is 5'6". Yadong is 5'8". Moraes has a 66.5-inch reach, and Yadong has a 67-inch reach. So a massive 9-year youth advantage for Song Yadong, the much younger fighter. So if you look at Song Yadong's career, he has 9 fights within the UFC at only 24 years old, which is just absolutely insane. He has 1 loss in the UFC to Kyler Phillips. And if you look at his resume overall, not a lot of great competition on there. There's some decent, competition. He had a draw with Cody Stamann. He fought Marlon Vera back in May of 2020. And in this fight, this was a very close fight. It ended up being a unanimous decision for Song Yadong, but I think this could have easily went to Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera could have easily took 2 out of the 3 rounds. He definitely took the third round, and 1 and 2 were very close. Marlon Vera was chopping the legs of Song Yadong, just like he did in that O'Malley fight where he ended up flash KOing O'Malley, and then O'Malley was stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. But Yadong, nonetheless, it was a very competitive fight over Marlon Vera, which has aged quite well. Then he has the loss to Kyler Phillips at UFC 259. That was only March of last year. Kyler Phillips won this fight with a combination of outstriking him, being the better striker, but mainly mixing in the grappling and being able to control Song Yadong on the ground. And then after that, he has a split decision win over Casey Kenny. And then most recently, he has a TKO win over Julio Arce. And this was a phenomenal performance. He looked fast. He looked tuned in. And he landed a nasty head kick on Arce, rocked him, followed up, and just slept him on the ground. Great win. And Julio Arce is a decent opponent and a decent win. But none of these opponents, I believe, compare to the level of Marlon Moraes. Now, Marlon Moraes is in an absolute horrific spot for his career. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, all by TKO, and he could arguably be on a 5-fight losing streak and have, 4 out of 5 being by TKO or KO. Marlon Moraes was a guy that I watched in World Series of Fighting for a long time, and he was bantamweight champion over at World Series of Fighting, and I thought when he came to the UFC, he was going to become a UFC bantamweight champion. He came into the UFC, he immediately fought Raphael Assunção, and he kind of choked. It wasn't a very inspired performance, and he lost via split decision. Then he fought John Dodson and won a split decision, and I was beginning to think, was I overestimating the skills of Marlon Moraes? Then he went out there and brutally KO'd Aljamain Sterling. It was a head kick, but the knee really landed right on the jaw of Aljamain Sterling. He just stiffened up like Terry Edom from the Edson Barboza wheel kick KO from years and years ago and just fell right to the floor. That's a great win, and that's aged very well. Then he destroyed Jimmy Rivera, who Jimmy Rivera was criminally underrated in the bantamweight division for a long time. Then he rematched Raphael Assunção and defeated him via submission, got a guillotine choke, hurt him badly early in the first round. I think Assunção shot in on a takedown, and then he got guillotined. Then he fought Henry Cejudo for the vacant bantamweight title after TJ Dillashaw popped for EPO and was subsequently stripped of his title. And I picked Marlon Moraes to win this fight against Henry Cejudo. And if you watch the first, I think it was 2 rounds or so, it looked like that prediction was going to be right. He was looking very good, but his stamina started to wane, and then Henry Cejudo just started to destroy his body in the clinch, and eventually Henry Cejudo stops him in the 3rd round via TKO. After that, he fights Jose Aldo, who's moving down from featherweight to bantamweight, and a lot of people thought Jose Aldo won this fight, but Marlon Moraes got a split decision win here. And people were so confident that Aldo won this fight that Jose Aldo got a title shot off of this loss. The UFC thought, okay, he probably won this fight. He should have got it on the scorecards. I personally thought he did. that they gave him a title shot against Piotr Yan. And then since that win over Jose Aldo, which really couldn't even be a win, he got TKO'd via spinning wheel kick against Corey Sandhagen. Then he got TKO'd against Rob Font. He was looking good early in this fight. He was able to take Rob Font down, hold him down, but Rob Font popped back up, eventually clipped him and KO'd him. And then most recently had to be a heartbreaking loss for Marlon Moraes. At UFC 266, he had Merab Dvalishvili hurt badly. It could have arguably been stopped, and he went into absolute kill mode. He was looking for the finish. He was swinging for the fences. He was landing brutally, and Merab Dvalishvili ended up surviving the onslaught. And then Marlon Moraes was gassed. And then eventually Merab gets him down and just starts destroying him. And Marlon Moraes took so much damage in this fight. Merab took a lot of damage too, but it ended up being a brutal second round finish. Basically, Marlon Moraes just emptied the gas tank in that first round, and Merab just took over and just destroyed him after recovering. It was a crazy, wild fight, but it just goes to show you, you look at Marlon's current position in the UFC. If he loses this fight, he's potentially being cut from the UFC. But he was so close to potentially beating Merab. And Merab's sitting at number 6 in the rankings. People are looking at him as a future title contender. And at the same time that a lot of people are kind of writing off Marlon, look at the level of opposition here. Forget about wins and losses. Henry Cejudo, Jose Aldo. Look how good Jose Aldo looks at bantamweight. Look at Corey Sandhagen. Look at Rob Font. Look where they are. Look at Merab. All high-quality, elite-level bantamweights. And the bantamweight division, in my opinion, is the best men's division in all the UFC. I mean, you have killers outside the top 15. It's just an insane division. Now, as far as this fight, and it's really tough to pick this fight, because one part of me just wants to say that Marlon Moraes' chin is just done. And Song Yadong has very fast hands. He has good combinations. He has decent power. And I just don't trust Marlon's chin at all. But on the other side, I kind of want to say, Marlon has more experience. He's fought more elite competition. And maybe Marlon Moraes, comes in this fight with, a sense of urgency because he knows he has to win this fight. So I was really torn on this pick. Part of me wanted to say Song Yadong first round KO. The other part of me wanted to say Marlon Moraes. He could really win a variety of ways because you look at avenues to victory. I feel like Song Yadong most likely has to win this fight via KO, in my opinion. I feel like Marlon Moraes could win this fight via KO, TKO, submission, or potentially a decision. I don't think Marlon's going to come out there regardless of what happened. I think he's going to learn from the Merab fight. I don't think he's going to come out and empty the gas tank in this fight. And forget about the chin for a second. I think Marlon Moraes, outside of the stamina issue, I feel like his chin and his stamina issue is probably his two biggest issues. This is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the bantamweight division. He has great grappling, great jiu-jitsu, great submission threat. He has good power, good striking. He has a variety of attacks. So his two main weaknesses are his chin and his cardio. I don't think he's going to come out and end up gassing himself out. He can go 3 rounds. I think he knows the importance of this fight. I wonder where his head's at, because how hard is it to come in on a fight after being KO'd 3 straight times and KO'd 4 out of the last 5 times you've been out. So I'm a little bit worried about the confidence, but I am going to go Marlon Moraes via decision. I think he's going to come out. He's going to be very conservative. He's going to protect his glass chin. He's going to shell up, similar to what Alistair Overeem did, the second half of his UFC career. I think he knows his chin is his liability. I think he knows he has to win this fight, and I think he's going to come out there. I think he's still very dangerous. I think he will mix in the grappling. And Song Yadong has been exposed with the grappling a little bit before. He was taken down by Kyler Phillips repeatedly and controlled on the ground. He was taken down by Marlon Vera and controlled on the ground, I believe, in the 3rd round. He's had his issues with being taken down and controlled on the ground. I think Marlon Moraes is going to come out with a very smart game plan. I think he's going to shell up early. I think he's going to kick the legs. Song Yadong's very heavy on that lead legs. I'm a little bit worried because Song Yadong is just so fast and has nasty power. He doesn't have a lot of KOs on his record. He has 7 KOs out of 25 fights, 18 wins, 7 KOs, so a little less than 50%. But that's not bad. I mean, honestly, that's not bad. But he's just not known for his one-punch KO power. But I guess when you're fighting a chin like Marlon Moraes, everybody has one punch KO power. At least that's what it seemed like in the last few fights. So I really worry about this pick. But just skill for skill, I think Marlon's pretty much better everywhere. I think Song Yadong maybe has the faster hands, but I think Marlon has more power. I think Marlon has the better submission skills. And I think he will come out and fight a very smart fight. I don't think he's going to, just stand there and bang with Song Yadong. I think he's going to fight very conservatively. I think he's going to be ripping kicks to the body. I think he's going to be ripping heavy leg kicks. He has great leg kicks. And Song Yadong got his legs chopped brutally by Marlon Vera in their fight. And I think Marlon Moraes has much more powerful leg kicks. I think he's going to come out, fight a very smart fight. I think he's going to be chopping the legs. I think he's going to be ripping body kicks. And I think he's going to shell up and be very conservative on the feet. He's not going to look to stand there and trade. I think he's going to mix in the grappling. I think he's going to try to push Song Yadong to the fence, take him down. I could honestly even see Marlon Moraes getting a submission. He has nasty submissions. He can just find them out of nowhere. Look what he did to Rafael Sunsao when Rafael Sunsao was closer to his prime. I think Marlon Moraes is just better everywhere. I worry about his chin. I worry about his stamina. I worry about this pick in general because Song Yadong is young, fresh. He hasn't taken a lot of damage, but I just have to give Marlon Moraes one last chance here. I see the skill level. I see in these fights, even his last 3 fights, even though he's been stopped, I've seen a path to victory, and he just got clipped. And I know it tends to be a pattern now. Is he going to get clipped by Song Yadong and put him down and get put down? Maybe so, but I'm going to ride out with Marlon Moraes. I think he's going to win a decision. I think he's going to fight a very smart fight. If Song Yadong wins, it's going to be a brutal first-round KO. He's super fast hands, has decent power, and I just don't trust Marlon Moraes' chin at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who do you guys think is going to win this very important bantamweight fight? This is Song Yadong's biggest test, and Marlon Moraes, if he loses this, he's probably getting cut by the UFC. That'll be 4 losses in a row, and if he loses, I think he's getting chinned yet again. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and thank you so much for watching.